Shukadeva Goswami said, when Lord Krishna disappeared suddenly, so suddenly, the gopis felt great sorrow at losing sight of him. When Lord Krishna disappeared so suddenly, the gopis felt great sorrow at losing sight of him, like a group of female elephants who have lost their mate. This is chapter 30, I think, of Canto 10. Yeah. As the cowherd women remembered Lord Krishna, their hearts were overwhelmed by his movements and loving smiles, his playful glancings and enchanting talks, and by many other pastimes he would enjoy with them. Thus absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, the Lord of Ram, the gopis began acting out his various transcendental pastimes. Because the beloved gopis were absorbed in thoughts of their beloved Krishna, their bodies imitated his way of moving and smiling, his way of beholding them, his speech, and other distinctive features. Deeply immersed in thinking of him and maddened by remembering his pastimes, they declared to one another, I am Krishna. Because the gopis were absorbed in thoughts of their beloved Krishna, their bodies imitated his way of moving and smiling, his way of beholding them, his speech and other distinctive features. Deeply immersed in thinking of him and maddened by remembering his pastimes, they declared to one another, I am Krishna. Singing loudly of Krishna, they searched for him throughout the Vrindavan forest, like a band of mad women. They even asked the trees about him, who is, as the Supersoul, is present inside and outside of all created things, just like the sky. They even asked the trees about him, who as the Supersoul is present inside and outside of all created things, just like the sky. The gopi said, O Vata tree, O Palaksha, O Nigroda, have you seen Krishna, that son of Maharaj Nanda, who has gone away after stealing our minds with his loving smiles and glances? O Purava tree, O Ashok, O Naga, Purnaga, Champaka, has Balaram's younger brother, whose smile removes the audacity of all proud women, passed this way? O kind Tulsi, to whom the feet of Govinda are so dear, have you seen the infallible one walk by, wearing you encircled by swarms of bees? O Malati and Malika, O Jati and Yuta, has Madhava gone by here giving you pleasure with the touch of his hand? O Chuta, Priyala, Panasa, Asana, and Vindara, O Jambu, O Arka, O Bivla, O Bakula and Amra, Kandamba and Nipa, all of you other plants and trees living by the banks of the Yamuna have dedicated your very existence to the welfare of others. We gopis have lost our minds, so please tell us where Krishna is gone. O Mother Earth, what austerities did you perform to attain the touch of Lord Keshava's lotus feet, which has brought you such joy, great joy, that your bodily hairs are standing on end? You appear very beautiful in this condition. Was it during the Lord's current appearance that you acquired this ecstatic symptom? Or was it perhaps much earlier, when he stepped upon you in his form as the dwarf Vamanadev? Or even earlier, as he embraced you in his form of the boar Varahadev? O friend, wife of the deer, has Lord Achyuta been here with his beloved, bringing great joy to your eyes? Indeed, blowing this way is the fragrance of his garland of kunda flowers, which was smeared with the kumkum from the breast of his girlfriend when he embraced her. O trees, we see that you are bowing down. Oops. What happened? Huh. Oops. Oh, trees, we see that you are bowing down. When the younger brother Ram walked by here, followed by intoxicated bees swarming around Tulsi Manjaris, decorating his garland, did he acknowledge your obeisances with his affectionate glances? He must have been resting his arm on the shoulder of his beloved and carrying a lotus flower in his free hand. Let us ask these creepers about Krishna. Even though they are embracing the arms of their husband, this tree, they certainly must have been touched by Krishna's fingernails, since out of joy they are manifesting eruptions on their skin. Having spoken these words, the gopis, distraught from searching for Krishna, began to act out his various pastimes, fully absorbed in thoughts of him. One gopi imitated Putana, while another acted as infant Krishna and pretended to suck her breast. Another gopi, crying in imitation of infant Krishna, kicked a gopi who was taking the role of the cart demon, Sakatshura. One gopi took the role of Trinavarta and carried away another who was acting like infant Krishna, while yet another gopi crawled about, her ankle bells tinkling as she pulled her feet. The two gopis acted like Ram and Krishna in the mist. Oops. Two gopis acted like Ram and Krishna in the midst of several others who took the role of cowherd boys. One gopi enacted Krishna's killing of the demon Vatasura, represented by another gopi, and another pair of gopis acted out the killing of Bakasura. When one gopi perfectly imitated how Krishna would call the cows who had wandered far away, how he would play his flute, and how he would engage in various sports, the others congratulated her with explanations of, "Well done, well done." Another gopi, her mind fixed on Krishna, walked about with her arm resting on the shoulder of a friend and declared, "I am Krishna. Just see how graceful I move." "Don't be afraid of the wind and the rain," said one gopi. "I will save you." And with that, she lifted her shawl above her head. Shukadev Goswami continued, "O king, one gopi climbed on another's shoulders and putting her foot on the other's head, said, 'Go away from here, O wicked snake. You should know that I have taken birth in this world just to punish the envious.'" When another gopi spoke up, oops, come on. Wow. When another gopi spoke up, "My dear cowherd boys, look at this raging forest fire. Quickly close your eyes and I will easily protect you." One gopi tied up her slender companion with a flower garland and said, "Now I will bind this boy who has broken the butter pots and stolen the butter." The second gopi covered her face with and beautiful eyes, pretending to be afraid. While the gopis were thus imitating Krishna's pastimes and asking Vrindavan's creepers and trees where Krishna, the Supreme Soul, might be, they happened to see his footprints in a corner of the forest. The gopis said, "The marks of the flag, the lotus, thunderbolt, elephant gold, and barley corn, and so forth, on these footprints clearly distinguished them as belonging to that great soul, the son of Nanda Maharaj." The gopis began following Krishna's footprints, as shown by his many footprints. But when they saw that these footprints were thoroughly intermixed with those of his dearmost consort, they became perturbed and spoke as follows. The gopis said, "Here we see the footprints of some gopi who must have been walking along with the son of Maharaj Nanda. He must have put her arm on her shoulder, just as an elephant rests his trunk on the shoulder of an accompanying she-elephant." Certainly, this particular gopi perfectly worshipped the all-powerful personality of Godhead Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. O girls, the dust of Govinda's feet is so sacred that even Brahma, Shiva, and Ram take that dust upon their heads to dispel sinful reactions. These footprints of that special gopi greatly disturb us. Of all the gopis, she alone was taken to a secluded place where she is enjoying the lips of Krishna. Look, we cannot see her footprints over here. It's obviously that the grass and the sprouts were hurting the tender soles of her feet, and so the lover lifted up his beloved. Please observe, my dear gopis, how this place, lusty Krishna's footprints are present more deeply in the ground. Carrying the weight of his beloved must have been difficult for him. And over here, the intelligent boy must have put her down and gathered some flowers. Uh-huh. So Lalita Ganga, you read something now. What do you want to read?
No idea.
Okay, good. Surprise us.
Something about the gopis also, or
Whatever you want. You choose.
Can I read again about Brahman?
Can you?
I tried to read it yesterday, but I was too stoned to read properly.
Yeah, well, good. That's the best kind of reading.
I try it again. Is it okay?
Yeah. Is it okay? Why do you keep asking me, is it okay? Just do it.
I have bad habits.
You're sovereign between you and Krishna. Okay. Read what you want.
Okay. Oh, I can't find it here in Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada books, it's only until 13. And maybe I should try to find it in Veda base.
Yeah.
I think I need chapter 14.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, take some. Brahma's prayers to Lord Krishna. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I will read immediately the verses, not the intro, because it's a long one. I have very respect for obeisances and to the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Sera Gora Haridas, Maharajacharya, to Srila Prabhupada, to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, to Jagannath Babaji, to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to Lord Nityananda, to Lord Chaitanya, to Radharani, to Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Verse 1, Lord Brahma said, my dear Lord, my dear Lord, you are the only worshipable Lord, the Supreme Lord of Godhead. Therefore, therefore, I humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. O son of the king of the cowards, your transcendental body is dark blue, like a new cloud. Your garment is brilliant like lightning. And the beauty of your face is enhanced by your gunja earrings and the peacock feather on your head. Wearing garlands and various forest flowers. Various flowers and leaves, and equipped with a hurling stick, a buffalo horn, and a flute. You stand beautifully with a morsel of you, with a morsel of food in your hand. my, my dear Lord, neither I nor anyone else can estimate the potency of this transcendental body of yours, of this transcendental body of yours. Which has shown such mercy to me, and which appears just to fulfill the desires of your pure devotees. Although my mind is completely withdrawn from material affairs, I cannot understand your personal form. How then could I possibly understand the happiness you experience within yourself? Those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, they throw away the process of speculative knowledge, and which their body, words, and mind offer all respect to descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating their lives to these relations, which are vibrated by your personality and by your pure devotees. Certainly they conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the three worlds. My dear Lord, my dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path for self-realization. If someone gives up that path and engages in the cultivation of speculative knowledge, he will simply undergo a troublesome process and will not achieve his desired result. As a person who beats an empty husk of wheat cannot get grain, one who simply speculates cannot achieve self-realization. His only gain is trouble. Oh, Almighty Lord, in the past, many gopis in this world achieved the platform of devotional service by offering all their endeavors unto you and faithfully carrying out their prescribed duties. Through such devotional service, perfected by the processes of hearing and chanting about you, they came to understand you. Oh, infallible one, and could easily surrender to you and achieve your supreme abode. Non-devotees, however, cannot realize you in your full personal feature. Nevertheless, it may be possible for them to realize your expansion as the supreme, by cultivating direct perception of the self within the heart. But they can do this only by purifying their mind and senses of all conceptions of material distinctions and all attachment to material sense object. Only in this way will your impersonal feature manifest itself to them. In time, learned philosophers or scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth, the particles of snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, the stars, and other luminaries. But among these learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited transcendental qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended into the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities? entities. Oh my Lord. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances within his heart, word and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. My Lord, just see my uncivilized impotence to test your power. I try to expend my illusory potency to cover you, the unlimited and private super soul who bewilder even the masters of illusion. What am I compared to you? I am just like a small spark in the presence of a great fire. Therefore, oh, infallible Lord, kindly excuse me my offenses. I have taken birth in the mode of passion, and and I am therefore simply foolish, presuming myself a controller independent of your lordship. My eyes are blinded. My eyes are blinded by the darkness of ignorance which causes me to think of myself as the unborn creator of the universe. But please consider that I am your servant and therefore worthy of your compassion. What am I? What am I? A small creature measuring 7 spans of my own hand. I am enclosed in a pot-like universe composed of material nature, the total material energy. False ego, ether, air, water, and earth. And what is your glory? What is your glory? Unlimited. Unlimited universes pass through the pores of your body. Just as particles of dust pour through the openings of a screened window. Oh Lord, at Gochaya, does a mother take offense when the child within her womb kicks with his legs? And is there anything in existence, whether designated by various philosophers as real or as unreal, that's actually outside your abdomen? My dear Lord, it is said that when the three planetary systems are merged into the water, at the time of dissolution, your plenary portion, Narayana, lays down on the water gradually. Gradually, a lotus flower grows from his navel. Brahma. Brahma. Brahma takes birth upon that lotus flower. Certainly, these words are not false. Thus am I not born from you? Are you not the original Narayana, a supreme controller? Since you are the soul of every embodied being and the eternal witness of all created realms. Indeed, Lord Narayana is your expression. And he's called Narayana because he's the generating source of the primal water. Of the primal water of the universe. He is real, not a product of your remain, Maya. My dear Lord, if your transcendental body, which shelters the entire universe, is actually lying upon the water, then why were you not seen by me when I searched for you? And why, though I could not envision you properly within my heart, did you then suddenly reveal yourself, my dear Lord? In this incarnation, you have proved that you are the supreme controller of Maya. Although you are now within this universe, the whole universal creation is with you, within your transcendental body. In fact, you demonstrated by exhibiting the universe within your abdomen before before your motivation. Just as this entire universe, including you, was exhibited within your abdomen, so it is now manifested here externally in the same exact form. How could such things happen unless arranged by your inconceivable energy? Have you not shown me today that both you, yourself, and everything within this creation are manifestations of your inconceivable potency? First, you appeared alone, and then you manifested yourself as all of Vrindavan's cows and cowherd boys. Your friends. Next, you appeared as an equal number of four-handed Vishnu forms who were worshipped by all living beings, including me. And after that, you appeared as an equal number of complete universes. Finally, you have now returned to your unlimited form as a supreme absolute truth, one within a second. Two persons ignorant of your actual transcendental position, you appear as part of the material world. manifesting yourself by the expansion of your inconceivable energy. Thus, for the creation of the universe, you appear as me, Brahma. For its maintenance, you appear as yourself, Vishnu. And for its annihilation, you appear as Lord Trinetra Shiva. O Lord, O Lord, O Supreme, Supreme Creator and Master, you have no material birth, yet to defeat the false pride of the faithless demons and show mercy to your saintly devotees. You take birth among the demigods, the sages, the human beings, the animals, and even the aquatics. Oh, oh, Supreme Great One, oh, Supreme Personality of Godhead, oh, Super Soul, Master Master of all mystic power. The apostles are taking place continuously in these three worlds, but who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing these innumerable pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of how your spiritual energy acts. Therefore, this entire universe, which like a dream is by nature unreal, nevertheless appears real, and thus it covers one's consciousness and assails one with repeated miseries. The universe appears real because it is manifested by the potency of illusion emanating from you, whose unlimited transcendental forms are full of eternal happiness and knowledge. You are the one supreme soul, the primal, supreme personality, the absolute truth. Self-manifested, endless and beginless, you are eternal and infallible, perfectly complete. Without any rival and free from all material designations. Your happiness can never be obstructed, nor have you any connections with material contamination. Indeed, you are the indestructible nectar of immortality. Those who have received the clear vision of knowledge from the sunlight, spiritual master, they can see you in this way. It's a very soul of awesome. The super soul of everyone's own self. Just understand your original personality. They are able to cross over the ocean of illusional material existence. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I'm on my way. Should I read more or should I stop? Hare Krishna. I don't hear you.
More. Encore.
Okay.
Yeah, more.
Okay,
encore.
okay. Just a minute. Those who have received the clear vision of knowledge from the sun like spirit of a master, they can see you in this way as the very soul of all souls, the super soul of everyone's own self. Thus, understanding your original personality, they are able to cross over the ocean of illusory material existence. A person who mistakes a rope for a snake becomes fearful, but he then gives up his fear upon realizing that the so-called snake doesn't exist. Similarly, for those who fail to recognize you as the supreme soul of all souls, the expensive illusory material existence arises, but knowledge of you at once causes it to subside. The conception of material bondage and the conception of liberation are both manifestations of ignorance. Being outside the scope of true knowledge, they cease to exist when one correctly understands that the pure spirit soul is distinct from matter and always fully conscious. At that time, bondage and liberation no longer have any significance. Just as day and night have no significance for the perspective of the sun. Just see the foolishness of those ignorant persons who consider you to be some separated manifestation of illusion and who consider the self, which is actually you, to be something else, the material body. Such fools conclude that the Supreme Soul is to be searched for somewhere outside your Supreme Personality. Oh, unlimited Lord, oh, unlimited Lord. The saintly devotees, they seek you out within their own bodies by rejecting everything separate from you. Indeed, how can discriminating persons appreciate the real nature of a rope lying before them until they refute the illusion that it is a snake? My Lord, is one is favored by even a slight trait of the mercy of your lotus feet. He can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the supreme personality of Godhead, they are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. My dear Lord, I therefore pray to be so fortunate that in this life as Lord Brahma, in another life, wherever I take my birth, I may be counted as one of your devotees. Oh my God. I pray. In my life, as Lord Brahma, or in another life, wherever I take my birth, I may be counted as one of your devotees. I pray that wherever I may be, even among the animal species, I can engage in devotional service to your lotus feet. Oh, Almighty Lord, how greatly, how greatly fortunate are the cows and the ladies of Retabel, the nectar of whose breast milk you have happily drunk to your full satisfaction, taking the form of their countless children. All the Vedic sacrifices performed from time immemorial up to the present day, they have not given you as much satisfaction. How greatly fortunate are Nanda Maharaj. The coward man and all the other inhabitants of Rajabhumi. There is no limit to their good fortune. Because the absolute truth, the source of transcendental bliss, the eternal supreme Brahman has become their friend. Yet, even though the extent of the good fortune of these residents of Vrindavan is inconceivable, we, 11 presiding deities of the various senses headed by Lord Shiva, are also most fortunate because the senses of these devotees of Vrindavan are the cups through which we repeatedly drink the nectarian, intoxicating beverage of the honey of your lotus feet. My greatest possible good fortune would be to take any bird, whatever, in this forest of Gokula and have my head weighted by the dust falling from the lotus feet of any of its residents. Their entire life and soul is a supreme personality of Godhead. Mukunda, the dust of his lotus feet is still being seated, for in the Vedic mantras, my mind becomes bewildered, just trying to think of what reward other than you could be found anywhere. You are the embodiment of all. You are the embodiment of all benedictions. Which you bestowed upon these residents of the coward community of Vrindavan. You have already arranged to give yourself to Putana and her family members in exchange for her disguising herself as a devotee. So, what is left for you to give those devotees of Vrindavan whose homes, wealth, friends, dear relations, bodies, children, and very lives and hearts are all dedicated only to you? My dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachments and their desires remain thieves. Their homes remain prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain food shackles. My dear master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, you come to this earth and imitate material life just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment for your surrendered devotees. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. Oh, my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. My dear Krishna, I now humbly request permission to leave. Actually, you are the knower and seer of all things. Indeed, you are the Lord of all the universes, and yet I offer this one universe unto you, my dear Sri Krishna. You bestow happiness upon the lotus-like Vrishni dynasty and expand the great oceans consisting on the earth, the demigods, the Brahmanas, and the cows. You dispel the dense darkness of irreligion and oppose the demons who have appeared on this earth. O Supreme Personality of Godhead. As long as this universe exists, and as long as the sun shines, I will offer my obeisances unto you. Sukadeva Goswami said, having thus offered his prayers, Brahma circumambulated his worshipable Lord. The unlimited personality of Godhead. 3 times, and then he bowed down, and then he bowed down and he fell to feet. The abundant creator of the universe then returned to his own residence. after, after granting his son Brahma permissions to leave, the Supreme Personality took the calves, who were still where they had been a year earlier, and he brought them to the riverbank, where he had been taking his meal, and where his coward boyfriends remained just as before. O King, although the boys had passed an entire year apart from the Lord of their very lives, they had been covered by Lord Krishna's illusory potency, and thus considered that year merely half a moment. What, indeed, is not forgotten by those whose minds are bewildered by the Lord's illusory potency. By that power of Maya, this entire universe remains in perpetual bewilderment, and in this atmosphere of forgetfulness, no one can understand his own identity. The coward boyfriend said to Lord Krishna, "You have returned so quickly. We have not eaten even one morsel in your absence. Please come here. Please come here and take your meal without distraction." Then Lord Rishikesha, smiling, finished his lunch in the company of his coward friends. While they were returning from the forest to their homes in Vraja, Lord Krishna showed the coward boys the skin of the dead serpent Agashura. Lord Krishna's transcendental body was decorated with peacock feathers and flowers and painted with forest minerals, and his bamboo flute loudly and festively resounded. as he as he called out to his calves by name, his coward boyfriends purified the whole world by chanting his glories. Thus Lord Krishna entered the cow pasture of his father, Nanda Maharaj, and the sight of his beauty at once produced a great festival for the eyes of all the coward women. As the coward boys reached the village of Raja, they sang, "Today Krishna saved us by killing a great serpent." Some of the boys described Krishna as the son of Yashoda and others as the son of Nanda Maharaj. King Pariksit said, "Oh, Brahmana, how could the coward women have developed for Krishna, someone else's son, such unprecedented pure love? Love they never felt for their own children. Please explain this." Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, "O king, for every created being, the dearmost thing is certainly his own self. The dearness of everything else, children, wealth, and so on, is due only to the dearness of the own self. For this reason, O best of king, the embodied soul is self-centered. He is more attached to his own body and self than to his so-called possessions like children, wealth, and home. Indeed, for persons who think the body is itself, O best of kings, those things whose importance lies only in their relationship to the body are never as dear as the body itself. If a person comes to the stage of considering the body mine instead of me, he will certainly not consider the body as dear as his own self. After all, even as the body is growing old and useless, one's desire to continue living remains strong. To continue living remains strong. Therefore, it is the own self that is most dear to every embodied living being, and it is simply for the satisfaction of this self that the whole material creation of moving and non-moving entities exists. You should know Krishna to be the original soul of all living entities. For the benefit of the whole universe, he has, out of his causeless mercy, appeared as an ordinary human being. He has done this by the strength of his internal potency. Those in this world who understand Lord Krishna as he is see all things as he is, see all things, whether stationary or moving, as manifest forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such enlightened persons recognize no reality apart from the Supreme Lord Krishna. The original, A manifest form of material nature is the source of all material things, and the source of even that subtle material nature is the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. What then could one ascertain to be separate from him? For those who have accepted the abode of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, the enemy of the Mura demon. The ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's hoofprint. Their goal is Parampadam, Vaikunta, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is danger at every step. Since you inquired from me, I have fully described to you those activities of Lord Hari that were performed in his 5th year, but not celebrated until his 6th. Any person who hears or chants these pastimes Lord Murari performed with his coward friends, the killing of Agashura, the taking of lunch on the forest grounds, the Lord's manifestation of transcendental forms, and the wonderful prayers offered by Lord Brahma, is sure to achieve all his spiritual desires. In this way, the boys spent their childhood in the land of Vrindavan, playing hide and go seek, building play bridges, jumping about like monkeys, and engaging in many other such games. This is the end of this chapter.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, that was great. That was awesome, man. Yeah. Okay, let's chant a little Hare Krishna again, little Japa, and then we'll probably have River read a little bit. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, so she can choose what she wants to read. How about Chaitanya Bhagavat or something? Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram.
Ram, Ram, Ram.
I'll be right back. I got to get my hat. Krishna
Yeah.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna. Yeah, you arm your eyes. There was so much insight of this blossom of Brahma prayer of worship, so much insight. Oh yeah. Hare Krishna, so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama. Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
Rama Rama Hare Krishna
Hare Rama Hare
Krishna Krishna Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama
Hari Hari Hari
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna.
Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hari Hari Krishna.
Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama. Rama Rama Hari Hari Hari
I don't hear anybody. Is this my fault? Should I go off?
I hear you.
I hear you. We hear you.
Okay, I go off. Okay.
We hear you. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama. Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari Rama Rama Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hari Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare Rama Rama
Rama Rama Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari
Hare Rama Rama
Rama Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hari Hari
Rama
Hari Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari
Rama
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 Rama Rama
Rama
Hari Hari
Rama
Hari Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari Hari
Rama
Hari Rama Hari Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hari Hari
Rama
Hari Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari Rama
Hare Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Hari
Rama
Hari Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna
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 Hare
Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hari
Rama
Hari Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna
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 Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari
Rama
Rama Hari Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Hari Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare Hare Hare
Hari
Rama
Rama Hari Rama
Rama Rama Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hari Hari
Hare
Hari Rama
Hare
Hari
Rama
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 Rama Rama
Rama
Hari
Rama
Hari Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari Rama
Hare
Hari
Rama
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 Rama Rama
Rama
Hari Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari Hari
Hare
Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama
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 Rama Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Hari Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna
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 Hari
Hare
Hari Hari
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hari
Rama
Rama
Hare Rama
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 Rama Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna Hari
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare Hare Rama Hare
Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari Rama
Hare
Hari
Rama
Rama
Hare Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Hari
Rama
Hari Hari
Hare Hare
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari Rama Hari Rama Rama
Rama
Rama Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna Hari
Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari
Krishna Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari
Rama
Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hari
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hari
Rama
Hari Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari Hari
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hari
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama
Rama
Hari Hari
Rama
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Rama Hari Rama
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Hari Hari
Rama
Hari Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hari 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 Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hari
Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hari Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna
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 Hare
Hari
Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare Rama Hare
Rama
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 Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare Hare Rama Hare
Rama Rama
Rama
Hari Hari
Rama Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna
Krishna
Shri
Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Jesus Jesus Srila Prabhupada Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri
Jai
Advaita
Jai Radha
Sadi
Srivastava Gaura Bhaktivinoda
Srila
Jesus
Prabhupada Chaitanya,
Jai Shri
Prabhu
Radha.
Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar,
Jai
Shivasari, Gora, Bhaktavinda,
Jai Shri
Nityananda, Nityananda,
Jai
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Jai
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda,
Jai
Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Jai
Shri
Jai
Krishna Chaitanya,
Jai
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Jai
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri
Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hare Rama,
Yeah. Okay.
Rama,
River, read some Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
so I'm going to read from where I left off this morning. Okay, so I'm reading from the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Kunda, chapter 6, 5. Okay. I offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master, Srila Bhakti. Gaura Haridas, Acharya, all glories to you. I offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Acharya, all glories to you, Acharya. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the previous Acharyas, all glories to you, Acharyas. I offer my respectful obeisances to the 6 Goswamis, Srila Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Gopinath Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. All glories to you, Goswamis. I offer my respectful obeisances to my life and soul, Shri Krishna. All glories to you, my Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu, Avadut. All glories to you, my Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances to Gadaha Pandit, Srivas Pandit. All glories to you. I offer my respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of the wonderful Shrimati Radharani, the personification of pure devotion. All glories to you. All glories to you. I offer my respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. All glories to you, my Lord of Lords. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the intimate devotees in the Sangha of Srila Bhaktivedanta Gaura. All glories to you, my God brothers and sisters, my friends. I offer my respectful obeisances to all those intimate devotees of the Lord, Gaura Bhaktavinda, wherever they may be. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra
Chandra Jaya Gaura
Jaya
Bhakta
Gaura
Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai, Jai Shri Gaura Haridas, Jai to all the exalted personalities. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So this chapter is called The Pastimes of Sri Nityananda, and I'm only on. I'm just about a quarter of the way through, and right now, I'm going to read the verse before. Oh, actually, that's where I've stopped. From there, the Lord went to Panihati to visit the house of Sri Raghava Pandit, who was always busy in serving Sri Krishna. When the Lord arrived, Sri Raghava Pandit was overwhelmed to see the beloved Lord face to face and fell to the ground offering obeisances. Fell to the ground offering obeisances. Beginning to weep in jubilation, he clasped the Lord's lotus feet, and the very same lotus feet that are the source of Lakshmi Devi's constant joy. The Lord also was extremely happy to see his dear devotees, and so while bathing him in unrestrained tears of joy, he picked up and embraced him. He picked him up and embraced him. Sri Raghava Pandit did not know what to do or how to receive the Lord's such, He picked him up and embraced him. Sri Raghava Pandit did not know what to do or how to receive the Lord such with his effusive bliss. I think it is effusive bliss. The Lord of Vaikuntha, Sri Chaitanya, was very pleased with the devotion of Srila Raghava Pandit and showed his mercy upon him. The Lord said, by coming to Raghava Pandit's house and seeing him, all my gloom has now dispelled. Coming in his house has resulted in the same purification and satisfaction as bathing in the holy Ganga. Then smiling benignly at Srila Raghava Pandit, the Lord said to him, Dear Raghava Pandit, please go immediately and prepare food for Lord Krishna's satisfaction. Raghava Pandit immediately went off, swimming in ecstasy to execute the Lord's order, his heart inundated with divine love. He cooked a great, plentiful variety of preparations, just as his heart dictated. The Lord came to eat, accompanied by Nityananda Prabhu and all his devotees. The Lord thoroughly relished Srila Raghava Pandit's cooking and praised every preparation. The Lord spoke sweetly. Raghava Pandit has cooked everything so excellently. Especially, never before have I tasted such a delectable preparation of shak spinach. Raghava Pandit always knew that the Lord was very fond of shak. So he had made it a point to prepare shak in many delicious ways. The Lord, finishing his food, washed up, and came back to sit down. Meanwhile, the Lord had spread. The word had spread that Sri Gadadhar Das. Where was I? Sorry. Meanwhile, the word had spread that the Lord was staying in the house of Srila Raghava Pandit. Srila Gadadhar Das heard the news and came hastily to meet the Lord. Srila Gadadhar Das optimized pure devotion to the Lord and was most near and dear to the Lord. The Lord was extremely pleased to see Gadadhar Das, and out of great love for him, he placed his lotus feet upon his head. Sri Purandar Pandit and Sri Parameswari Das, a highly acknowledged scholar, also came rushing to see the Lord. Parameswari Das was so surrendered to the Lord that the Lord had reciprocated and personally manifested himself in his body. Both the stately devotees were in great ecstasy to see the Lord, and they cried tears of divine love. Srila Raghunath Vidya, that very exalted Vaishnavi, that very exalted Vaishnava, whose good qualities are endless, also came to meet the Lord. In this way, an endless stream of devotees came to see the Lord. Panahati village experienced an extraordinary spiritual event by the advent and stay. Okay. In this way, an endless stream of devotees came to see the Lord. Panahati village experienced an extraordinary spiritual event by the advent and stay there of the Lord. By his personal experience, the Lord inundated the whole village with divine ecstasy. Once, the Lord called Srila Raghava Pandit aside and spoke to him alone. He said, Raghava, I want to reveal to you confidentially that Nityananda Prabhu is none different from myself. You must understand that whatever Nityananda wants of me, I do without sophistry. I say that everything I do is through Nityananda. When we are one and the same. That which is really attained by great mystics steeped in meditation is easily obtained from Sri Nityananda. Therefore, engage yourself with sincerity and difference, in the service of Sri Nityananda, knowing him to be the Supreme Lord. Before leaving the most fortunate village of Panahati, the Lord instructed Makarad Havja. I've not said that very well. Serve Raghava Pandit nicely. Know that the loving attachment you have for him is equivalent to that you have for me and has my biggest appreciation. The Lord then came to the place called Vahanagra. There he visited the residence of exalted and saintly Brahmana. The Brahmana was well versed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and upon having the audience of the Lord, he began to recite choice verses.
Yeah.
As the Lord heard the verse.
Yeah, I want to just say something kind of quick. Yeah, so read that part again. Just back up a little bit, where he says, your affection for him is like for me, and it's greatly appreciated by me. Read that thing again.
Before leaving the most fortunate village of Panahati, the Lord instructed Mokada Habja. Serve Ragana Pandit nicely. Know that the loving attachments you have for him is equivalent to that you have for me and has my highest appreciation.
Yeah, so that's it, and that's the essence. Is he's an associate of Lord Chaitanya, and when you have affection for the associate of Lord Chaitanya, it's like what you actually have for Krishna, and it's greatly appreciated by the Lord. See, this is the thing, to get the appreciation of Krishna. So this is a great secret, and otherwise, if you don't basically love the devotees and appreciate the devotees, then it's not appreciated by the Lord. The Lord doesn't care. Oh, well, he's not interested. But you want to get the Lord's interest, become interested in his devotees, his real devotees, his real associates, and their activities in this world. See, and then you get the great appreciation of the Lord, and that's what you experience, that appreciation. And that makes everything. It's all the difference in our spiritual lives. This is greatly appreciate that when we appreciate Jesus or any devotee, Paul, one of his servants, see, or John, more so than just appreciating ordinary human beings that don't have his special mercy. You can appreciate mundane persons, but that doesn't really mean much to the Lord. But if you appreciate his real associates, his real devotees who are steeped in the transcendental potency, oh, that's amazing. And you will experience something. You'll experience that appreciation of Krishna, and it's different than anything. And that's what basically you testify on, is that appreciation that you're getting from God, those boons and those benefits. Okay. So anyway, this is what the Lord wants to teach on this planet, so that people can be liberated once and for all, and get free of all this stuff. This birth and death, this samsara. All right, I just wanted to say something about that. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. The Lord then came to a place called Varaha Nagra. There he visited the residence of an exalted and saintly Brahmana. The Brahmana was well versed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and upon having the audience of the Lord, he began to recite choice verses. As the Lord heard the verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam read with such sublime devotion, he went into an ecstatic trance. With a voice resembling the roll of thunder, he cried out, "Read on, read on." The pious Brahmana was blissfully submerged in reading aloud, the text, and soon the Lord began to dance in divine exaltation. Oblivious to everything around him, verse after verse described the transcendental glory of loving devotional surrender. And the Lord swooned repeatedly, falling like a rod to the ground with tremendous force. Such was the Lord's spiritual ecstasy that the amazed people were afraid to see him fall with such intensity.
See, that's another great thing. The Lord is showing externally what he's doing inside our hearts. So when we hear from devotees and you start to feel that excitement, that's the Lord's excitement. See, that's how you know you're starting to live with the transcendental Lord, is what excites him excites you. See, so this is the great secret of Vrindavan, is you begin to manifest the transcendental nature of the Lord on the mirror of your heart. And this spills over into, the Lord is dancing and fall, this is a dancing in this level of just basically showing, like you show what the Lord showed 500 years ago actually in the body, it begins to manifest in your body. See? So that's how people get to know the true nature of the Lord, is through the mirror of the devotees' activities and their body, with their bodily symptoms. Otherwise, we don't know what God really is. See, this is what Lord Chaitanya, he manifested the greatest revelation about the Lord, who God is and what God is and what makes him happy and what will make us happy. There's never been a greater revelation of this truth ever, except when the Lord Chaitanya comes here. It's so deep, it's so amazing, and it so shows the unique, the extent that one can have in relationship with him with such intimacy, to where you actually express the nature of God in your person. See, so in a sense, this is why in the Bible it says, ye are like gods. See? Because when this happens in our nature, we begin to express the Lord's nature through our bodies. See? And then people get to know what is actually transcendental. Otherwise not. Everybody's expressing the modes of nature through their bodies. See? And so everybody doesn't know who and what God is. It's just like when in Bhagavad Gita says that the Lord is, we are all in the Lord, but the Lord isn't in us. See, that's the problem. Therefore, we don't know who the Lord is and what he is, because we're in the Lord, but we don't see him. He's hiding. Okay? But when he begins to manifest in a devotee, because of the devotee's devotion awakened, see, so they're in the Lord, and the Lord is in them, and that's what you get to see if they're exposing that in this world, by preaching and sharing and discussing these things and chanting in ecstasy. See, we begin to express the Lord's transcendental nature in this world so that people can begin to know. And that's why, again, the Lord says, oh, yeah, if you love this devotee, if you appreciate him, then you're actually appreciating me. Okay, because the Lord has given himself to the devotee in the expressing in this world through that devotee. And this is greatly appreciated by me. This is the essence of disciplic line. This is the essence of the door that gets you into the highest spiritual realms of Vrindavan, okay? Or any Dham. You got to meet a devotee who is actually, in a sense, at one with the Lord. Okay? One and different in there as a devotee, but still you can see the nature of the Lord through that devotee. And if nobody, this is how smokes all the Maya out to the minute degree. If people, if gurus, if spiritual leaders do not acknowledge that devotee as being a representative, see, representing Krishna means literally representing that transcendental Lord. If they don't acknowledge that, and their guru deities, and their, oh, deliver me, you just found an illusion. Okay? Because they can't recognize the Lord. How can they deliver you to somebody they can't even recognize themselves? How? How is it possible? Okay? So, and it's not easy because there are a lot of people, like I was listening to a devotee yesterday that, what's his name? Karuna sent me. And the guy looked good, he was nice and everything, and he kind of did the way you look like a blissful devotee and all that, yeah. But is that enough? I mean, because, there's been a lot of good actors and imitators. How do we know that this person is really manifesting the true Lord and not just imitating? See, by hearing is one way, and you got to hear quite a bit. So you listen and you listen, but again, it's like Jesus said, you know them by their fruits. So if they're preaching and they're a guru and they're doing their thing, and it could be real, but it maybe not. And they're doing their thing and everything. But nothing's happening out there. Nobody's getting it. What's it saying? See, they judge a tree by its fruits. If it's got transcendental fruits and it's expressing and crying or whatever it's doing, but nothing's happening out there, nobody is getting it. See, then that's not real. That's not the real bhakti. It's the imitation. It's like Putana. Comes in Vrindavan, looks like a great devotee, does all the act, and everything, but nothing pure comes about from that association. See, so there are a lot of devotees can be like that, but they're not really devotees yet. They're, caught in that obstacle. So by their fruits they shall be known. So we need to understand that. And otherwise you can be fooled, So that's why, So anyway, that's kind of how it works. Yeah, go ahead.
The pastimes lasted late into the night. The Brahmana read, and the Lord danced. Gradually, the Lord came out of his ecstatic trance and then calmly sat down. He was extremely happy. with the Brahmana and so embraced him. The Lord said to him, "Never before have I heard anyone recite the Srimad Bhagavatam so sweetly. Therefore, I name you Bhagavata Acharya, the spiritual preceptor of the Bhagavatam. You need not engage in any other activity. Just continue to recite the Bhagavatam." Everyone was jubilant with the Brahmana's new and deserved title and appreciated it with loud chanting of the Lord's holy name. Blessing the residents of that place, the then Lord traveled alone along the banks of the Ganga, visiting the different houses.
The devotee had natural love. He had natural love for the Bhagavatam. Okay? And the Lord appreciated that because look, this person really loves this Bhagavatam. And so he likes to hear from people who basically like him, because he is the Bhagavatam, personified. And so when a devotee loves the book, and loves to recite these verses. In other words, this devotee is feeling, this is my treasure. This is my life. And the Lord loves it. I said, yeah, that's all you have to do. You just relish your relationship with me as that book and through that book, and preach that, just preach that enthusiasm. Preach that I'm your treasure. Show the world that I'm your treasure. Okay? This is the whole Christian of devotee. This is what we're doing here. This is what Lalita Ganga is doing. It's showing what her treasure is, exposing that to the world. Get some flack, because people, they don't understand such matters. But well, that's all we're doing. We're showing what our treasure is, and this is witnessing. You stand up for the world, you say, our treasure is Krishna, and this is what he is. He's ecstatic, man. He cries, he laughs, and he's laughing through us, man. And we like it. We welcome. Hey, Lord, lay it on us thick, thicker the better, and people are burning. It's just burning up their karma, man, burning up their illusions, man. Stop this, man. It's like cognizant dissidence, like in the world, people don't want to see the truth, right? Isn't that what it is? Basically, the Maya is trying to cover up the truth about let's on the mundane level. It's the same thing happening here. On the mundane level, Maya is trying to cover up the truth that this thing that starts with a V is a big friggin' hoax. Is an excuse to do a lot of stuff. Maybe there's something there, but they're using it, milking it in all these different ways to accomplish a really dastardly goal. And so they're all trying to censor all the truth about that, right? That's what Maya does. She wants to always censor the truth. She does that on the worldly level. Okay? And so that's what Maya does, and that's why people suffer, because of ignorance. See? Ignorance, they're fed a narrative of some limited information to cause a certain result, which is not very good, and it's very limited, and it's like leading people to go over a cliff, and it's not, so anyway, that's what Maya does. And Maya does the same thing with this truth. Here, what we're doing is exposing the real Krishna. Hey, man, Krishna's ecstatic, isn't he? Don't you read that in the book? Oh, people hate this. How dare you show that? No, hey, man, not only are we going to show this, man, we're going to teach this. I'm going to stick everybody's nose in that truth, man. Hey, man, this is Krishna is one ecstatic person, man. He laughs, he cries, he chokes up, man. He loves the Bhagavatam, and he's for hours, they love to sit there and talk about the Lord and all these things. And that's what we do. We're here to represent Krishna as Krishna is. Now, on the order, Prabhupada, as my approval, you're doing what I want you to do. Do more of that. See? Present Krishna as he is, and that's what delivers people. Go ahead, Tom.
Yes, what I feel is what Maya offers to us, we can never reach. What Maya offers to us, we can never reach. We can never reach that. So it's a fake. It's something fake. Maya offers us something fake. No substance, no Shuddha, no pureness. So what Maya offers us, we will never reach. We cannot. It's fake.
Yeah. Well, you can reach like becoming wealthy, but then it's not enough. You want to be more wealthy, and it's not enough. You want to be more wealthy.
That's what I mean. We never reach the ultimate. It doesn't end. It's
not conclusive.
We cannot reach the ras that's really substantial.
Yeah, it's because the illusion. It's just you become unlimitedly greedy, and so much so you destroy yourself and others. This is the idea. Like Bill Gates, He is unlimitedly, well, not unlimited, it's always a limit. It just very, it's not enough to have billions of dollars. Now you want more control over the world. You want to control everybody. You want to be like God. It's just imitate. You want to be the most wealthy person. Who is the most wealthy person? God, right? Yeah, you want to imitate that.
Yes.
So he wants to imitate. Now, who's the most controlling person? God. Now you want to do that. You want to imitate. You want to invade everybody's privacy and know everything that they're doing and control that, because who's the supreme controller? God. This is demoniac imitation. See? Demons do that. This is exactly what's going on. And if you serve those persons, you believe those persons, you become monsters like them. You enable them. You become an enabler. I was hearing from a lady. This is a very good spiritual teaching, actually. Hearing from a lady, and she was like an analyst of economies and all kinds of amazing things to do with the world. And she says, we are, not everybody, but most are enabling these persons to do what they're doing to us. We're enabling our own slavery, because many people, good people, are working for those who are enslaving us. And she says all people have to do is stop enabling those persons to enslave us. And that's the whole problem. And she's exactly right. You enable who you're serving to do what they want to do. And if your master is dastardly, is a demon, what's going to happen? It's going to end up in destruction for you, enabling them and others, and the demons themselves, because they always end up destroying everything, even including their own selves. So that's what's happening. It's who's your master, basically. Who are you, man? Who do you believe in? See, who are you enabling? Here, we're enabling who? Ourselves? No. Well, in a sense, we're enabling Krishna in us. See, we're enablers also, but we're enabling Krishna. Go ahead.
Yes, it's also in the words paying attention. Where we pay attention to, that will grow. That will grow in our consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
It's paying attention. So we can choose to pay our attention to something inconclusive,
Mm-hmm.
or we can pay attention and feed that consciousness of Krishna consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So our focus is very important. Where are we looking to? We are paying attention, and that will grow.
Yeah.
So if we pay attention to Maya, our illusion will grow, and we will. So it's very simple, I feel.
Yeah, paying attention. But see, the thing is, Maya tricks people. See, that's why the truth will set people free, is Maya's tricking you to serve her. And that's what she does. It's always to trick us into serving the illusion. So anyway, this here is just presenting the truth and explaining, hey man, this is Krishna. Krishna's ecstatic, man. You have a great life if you can chant Hare Krishna and go into these states of ecstatic bliss and all that. This is what this empowers people. This purifies the world. It purifies you. It purifies others who hear you. It gives great blessings. All these great things happen when you're in touch with the spiritual potency. But people don't know that. Maya is always trying to hide that. Even Maya in religion's trying to hide this preaching that we're doing. All we're doing is exposing the real Krishna, right? Isn't this the real Krishna? Doesn't he laugh and cry and choke up? Aren't we reading? Krishna is so enthusiastic. He's so ecstatic when he hears the Bhagavatam from his real devotees. See, we're preaching the path. We're preaching everything here. Everything one needs to know to get out of illusion. Okay? And so it's like a war, because Maya wants to keep this information a secret. See, because if the secret is out, then people get out of her clutches. See? So it's kind of a game. Maya just acts like this. She's like a machine. It just acts like this. And so we're here battling the Maya machine, which is like an AI thing. It's a battle between God and machine, in a sense. This is the way Maya acts, and so we counteract it with the truth. Just like, as you see these guys like David, what's his name? Won't say his name. Don't say his name. So you know who I'm talking about, that guy. And these guys are trying to counteract what's going on here by giving more understanding of, that there's motive. You're dealing with materially motivated persons who don't have your welfare in mind. See, and so that's just one level of it. See, that's just one level. So there's, that truth to help people understand. And I think, because we're doing what we're doing, we're purifying the universe actually by this. This is that is not pure. That preaching is like a demigod thing. It's not pure yet. There's also still motive in there. If you notice, when these guys are telling, there's a Ross in that, and then they give you commercials about what they're selling and all. This is not pure motive in that thing. There's always some commercial in it. See, some material motive. So it's not strong enough, but this is. Okay? This is so strong that this purifies even by emanation what's going on in the consciousness of these people, and they become gradually more aware that what they're doing is not really good for them or anybody else. They become a little more intelligent. See, so purification is all about that. So yeah. So that's pretty interesting. Go ahead there, River. Gets more and more clear what we're doing, isn't it? By this discussion. It's like, yeah, that's what it is. We're showing Krishna. We're showing the real Krishna in this world, man. And that's, there's a lot of pushback on that. No, we don't want to see that. Don't show. Hey, you see, Krishna's ecstatic. He's very knowledgeable. He knows the essence of truth. He understands the Maya. And he's showing us, and we show you. Whoever listens, you become ecstatic and part of the ecstatic family. And Maya hate. There's a hatred about that. Hate, because of contamination makes you hate that kind of information. It makes the truth appear like illusion. See? And it makes illusion appear like the truth. You see, everything is kind of reversed.
Yeah, we show him, but by descending, he's doing his job here. We don't really see and know yet what his plan is, but he's doing a job.
Yeah, he's doing a job. Yeah.
We are pulling him.
This is why. Yeah. This is why the acharyas, they were hiding Krishna. They just show it in their closet, or they, Prabhupada's ecstatic, jumping around in his room, with the purports, or chanting Hare Krishna in his room, and crying. Yeah, see, hiding Krishna still. See, so that's why there's not a lot of love of God. It just wasn't time. But can you imagine trying to do that, like what we're doing here? We're at the same time writing all those books and building temples and going all over the world and all these thousands of this. It would be, wasn't time for that. Yeah. But now, now's the time. Yeah, I can't do it all. Now it's relaxed. We got our little thing. We got how many people? 11 people come in, and from these 11, it's just like when Krishna, he targeted Arjuna with Bhagavad Gita, right? One person. But where did it hit? The whole world, universe, actually. So we're targeting here just our little Sangha, and it's ultimately it ripples out and goes over the whole world. We'll see, because it's powerful, and the videos are here, just like the books. The Bhagavad Gita was written about that, and then boom, people read it. Same thing. People will start to watch the videos or the transcriptions, and they'll see, wow, this is really special. This is really revealing the truth about the Lord, and wow, this is his nature, and all we have to do is find that kind of association, and we're delivered. See, because people don't know. They don't know the true nature of the Lord. They don't know. Can you imagine in all our books preaching how ecstatic Krishna is and the devotees and all that, and people are so against it still. Yeah, they're against it. They see you ecstatic and everything. They think this is a bad thing. And they've been reading the books and everything. In other words, they're not hearing it. It takes time to get purified. And gradually they become like, it's like that Kalya. Krishna is dancing on the hoods, and Kalya doesn't know that Krishna is God and he's the most amazing being, right? But he's reacting and fighting with the Lord, you know? And then gradually, he's getting purified because the Lord continues making contact and dancing on the hood. And then he becomes enlightened. He starts, oh, you're Krishna? Oh my God, it was because of contamination. I couldn't see you too much. And so that's basically how the Lord gradually reveals himself. And I was hearing in Bhagavatam yesterday, in the seventh canto, seventh canto, first chapter. It's very interesting. You want to see how the Lord works. Is Narada Muni was saying that if you're an enemy of Krishna and you fight him and you're thinking about him in enmity, you can become a devotee very easily, just because you're connecting with the true God and you're thinking about him, and everything, all contamination gets purified by that. And that makes an emotional bond, this to make you think of the Lord so much, like even in that way. And so he used the analogy why Kamsa got and who is a Shishupal got a better destination, which was liberation, or maybe more. It's hard to say. Anyway, just they got at least liberation. Okay, liberated very easily just by thinking of the Lord in hatred and anger, because it was reposed on God, Krishna. Then what's his name? Vina, King Vina was also a very demoniac king, very demoniac. He was a real snake. And he didn't get that because he only blasphemed the Lord a little bit. He wasn't meditating like day and night and like really thinking about the Lord in fear and all that stuff. So he wasn't emotionally bonded. So he just died, and just went into the pool of samsara, Whereas Shishupal and Kamsa, they eternally liberated because they were with hatred even. And the same thing with lust. If you're lusting after Krishna, that's what turns you into a gopi ultimately, because it's lusting for Krishna. And so Shukadeva was talking about that. Their lust kept them bonded to the Lord. Like that hunchback, was a prostitute, she wanted to have sex with Krishna. And because she still had affection and she's thinking about him and associating closely, she became purified and a pure devotee. Same thing with, Haridas Thakur. He was chanting, and this prostitute came and wanted to also have sex with him. And he said, well, just sit there and listen to her chanting. And she became purified because chanting the name. This is another thing. If you want to increase your chanting, anybody watching this video and you're chanting still dry rounds, you come here and chant with the devotees, because you're getting more contact with Krishna because he's chanting. Some devotees here are chanting in ecstasy. See, and so you're getting more contact with Krishna just being around devotees like that. See, because they're tasting Krishna's transcendental potency, and you're in that emanation. Yeah. So, yeah. Go ahead.
Everyone was jubilant with the Brahmana's new and deserved title, and appreciated it with loud chanting of the Lord's name.
See, he got the
blessing
title.
the residents of
See,
that place.
He got the
and
title because he understood the Bhagavatam. He relished the Bhagavatam. And so Lord said, yeah, here's the title. This is the idea. Even when one students see that you really know what you're talking about, that the Lord is really empowering you, they may give a title to even their guru. And that's what happened. They did this with Prabhupada. They said, yeah, you're a Prabhupada, man. Look what you're doing. Look at the empowerment there. You should have this. And Prabhupada said, yeah, you're right. It's appropriate. And he allowed it. And basically that's it. And people, they say, well, who gave you that title? Well, okay, your disciples may give it to you, but they're giving it to you because you know what you're talking about, because you're empowered by the Lord. And the title is good in that way, because it titles help people understand where the authority is. And if the title is deserved in that way, under those conditions, then people will know where the door is to get properly schooled in Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, nobody knows. See, so that's why generally people take sannyas, is because people respect that and they'll listen to a sannyasi. Unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, not everybody's really a sannyasi or really a liberated soul. Okay? So anyway, if anybody is convinced to hear the real Bhagavatam from a real devotee empowered by Krishna, you're real fortunate, because you'll get a fruit that you can't get from persons who are in the garb of devotees, but they're not really authorized. They're not really empowered. They're not actually relishing mellows. See, there's a different result. See, so if you really are intensely greedy to know God in this life, if you have this understanding, which you hear from the bona fide representative, and then you're led to the real path. Otherwise not. I think Lalita Ganga is a little tired now. You need to go to sleep? No? You sure? Okay. No. Yeah, so this is really the simple truth is, if you can find a person that's congruent. See, congruent means they're actually a renounced person. They were, in the sense they know who God is, whether they have stuff in their lives or not. No, in their heart they know, hey man, Lord, you're it, man. This is the real thing. This is all coming and going. Okay? You're not too attached to the stuff in the world. See, you may be a little attached because we're dealing with objects and it's got a body. There have been devotees who were addicted. They're like Bhaktivinoda met a Shiva devotee that he considered enlightened. And matter of fact, this Shiva devotee gave a great blessing to him to be a great Vaishnava. Yeah, but this Shiva devotee was a chain smoker. He smoked one right after another. This is in one of his biographies. So he meets and so anyway, this enlightened Shiva devotee, he did japa constantly, all day and night. He just never stopped, but he smoked cigarettes. He was addicted. And not recommended you do it like this, but this shows you, he was really addicted to the truth. His mantra he knew was God, and he liked to associate intimately with the Lord. And then he knew the time of his own death. And when he started to get close to his time of his own death, Bhakti and Vinod was right there watching it. And he said, okay, I'm going to die at this time. And he started smoking a whole bunch of cigarettes and chanting his mantra. And then, boop, at that time, gone, left his body. So anyway, these strange occurrence, you got to see what is the essence of this. And now you may see a person's a vegetarian, nice clothes and everything, but they don't really represent. They're not attracted to the Lord, the transcendental Lord. They don't have the ecstatic symptoms of being attracted. And that's most people in religions that way.
Yeah. I can't hear Guru Maharaj. Can other people
Okay,
hear
is it going
Maharaj?
now? Is it working
Now
now?
it's better again. Yeah, you were gone for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to tell me if I'm done.
Well, she did.
Yeah. Oh, just now. Yeah.
I
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
It says
Well, I'm just saying, don't wait a long time.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, I forgot where it was. Okay, go ahead and read some more.
Okay. Everyone was jubilant with the Brahmana's new and deserved title and appreciated it with loud chanting of the Lord's name. Blessing the residents of that place, the then Lord traveled along the banks of the Ganga, visiting the different houses of many devotees. He satisfied all the devotees, fulfilling the yearning of their hearts to see him. Finally, he returned to Nilachai Puri. One who hears these descriptions in the Lord's return to Bengal, becomes immediately free from all desires.
So,
Great crowds
yeah.
of people greeted the Lord
So,
as he entered
so,
Jagannath Puri.
yeah. So that eagerness, see, that yearning to see the Lord is the only reason that the Lord appears to us. If you don't yearn to see the transcendental Lord, are you going to see the transcendental Lord? No. You gotta if you come here and you start to hear from devotees and gradually you start to see, wow, this is really God. This is God's potency. This is his transcendental potency. And then if you yearn to see that Lord yourself, in other words, to see the Lord yourself, you have to relish the transcendental potency. You got to taste it. You got to taste it in his name and his pastimes. And if you yearn for that, he will satisfy you with that. The whole problem is people aren't yearning for that. Isn't that's why people stay Vaidhi Bhaktas. They come here and see this and they're not yearning for it. Therefore, the Lord says, well, what can I do? You're not interested in me. You're interested in me in the form of the Varnashram Dharma or something. See? So this, we're here to teach people basically the highest thing to desire and yearn for, which is this intimacy with God, this transcendental relationship. Yeah, we got to show in all ways, how beautiful it is, how wonderful it is, how it makes you more clear, more intelligent, more sovereign over your life. See? How it helps you in all ways. How this is what Jesus said. Hey, this Holy Spirit is great, man. You'll like it. Because you listen to me and are clean because of hearing from me, the Lord is going to awaken that in you. And he'll be your counselor. How would you like to have God as your counselor? This is God. The Holy Spirit is God, is the Lord. It's transcendental potency. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I experienced that. I never ever had in my life such a desire as this one. This desire is so special. It's a transcendental desire. It's not material, and it's getting strong, and you really want to have him more. Freddy said it here. In spiritual life here, well, a little bit further. People are also not satisfied. You want more and more, but that's true. You want him more. You want him deeper. You want, yeah.
Yeah, and that
Never good enough.
See, we're cultivating taste. If you don't do that, and it starts by seeing the devotees. This is why, if you see in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, his beginning of the Sankirtan movement was simply him showing himself to the devotees, showing his inner nature, showing that he he is both Radha and Krishna. That there was love of Krishna inside him, and he would just chant Krishna's name or talk about Krishna, and this ecstasy would arise. So he began showing the devotees, and the devotees said, "Oh, how fortunate we are that Lord Krishna has allowed us to see this ecstatic uh, worship, this prema, manifest in Lord Chaitanya." And Lord Chaitanya, when he saw that ecstasy in Nityananda, he said the same thing. How fortunate I am to be able to see this ecstasy. Because now you're getting real darshan of God. It's not really complete darshan when you go to the temple, because you don't see the Lord crying because he's thinking. Yeah, you don't see the devotional potency. See, because you just see the deity there alone, and the others are there like statues. You don't see the tears, when the Lord is thinking about his devotees, and you don't see the tears when the devotee is thinking about the Lord. That's why it's the same thing. The Lord is thinking about his devotees in ecstasy, and the devotees are thinking about the Lord in ecstasy. Therefore, because it's the devotees in this world, you can see the true nature of the Lord, because on the person of the devotee, because he's in the Lord is in him, and it's spilling over in the tears and the laughter and all that. And now you're getting to see the true nature of the Lord. It's to see. Okay? Yeah. That's why it's better to be with a devotee than in Vrindavan, because in Vrindavan you don't see this ecstasy often. I mean, might be around somewhere. Often it's also hidden there in Vrindavan. I met actually an ecstatic devotee once there, and you had to go. He was in his bhajan kutir, and he would come out of trance and talk to the devotees, and then after a while, he would just go back there, and chant in ecstasy, and he was lost in that. And then sometimes people would come for darshan, and he'd come out and talk to them, and then he'd go back into this.
Like
That's all. That
Govinda Swami?
who?
Like Govinda Swami?
Actually, even more so. This guy was really deep into it. It was a very nice person. I actually talked to him. He's very kind, very kind, and yeah, real sadhu, man. He's really just lived very simply, and that was his life, And yeah, yeah, and yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question, but I don't know if you want to go into that. The question is about we are having a body now, and some people they don't want. They say I don't want to come back to be reborn in another body. So is it really um, uh, um, that appreciation that that we have a body? Is it better to have a body or just being a soul without the material body? Does it really help the people? Um, is it a good goal not to have a body again?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. See, the thing is, when a devotee is activated, when love of God awakens in them, now they have a spiritual body, and it's just cultivated by hearing and chanting. Even though you see it in the body, their spiritual body is activated within it. They have not only, like when they're chanting, it's like when you eat, right? You eat food, and most people can only enjoy food like that, but devotees enjoy food with the same mouth, chanting the name. See? So people enjoy hearing mundane sound vibrations, and the devotee enjoys hearing spiritual sound vibrations. So it's more advantageous for a devotee to be in the body here for us, because a disembodied, I mean, do you see, I mean, this, do you see Lord Chaitanya now? Do you see Advaita or any of the devotees? You don't see them. See, so that we don't really know clearly who they are unless you can chant their names and feel their ecstatic presence by that chanting, which is only the advanced devotees usually can do. Or you get the mercy of an advanced devotee like this, and then you can do that. Otherwise, so it's more advantageous for a devotee, for people in the world, that a devotee is in the body. That's why they often come here, is to help the devotees make advancement in spiritual life. So a devotee themselves is not thinking, well, I want to be disembodied. No, they're just doing their devotional service. It's like, well, I'm here, Lord. This must be a reason. And look at the kind of work we can do. Look what we can do. We can share. We can talk about the truth, which is really pleasurable. Whether you have just a soul body or a physical body with an activated soul body, it's just very pleasurable to chant Hare Krishna and relish mellows, or chant the Bhagavatam, or speak about Krishna and relish mellows. Very pleasurable to do that. Transcendentally pleasurable.
Yeah. So when we have realized our spiritual body, then we feel safe. Then we are safe. It feels very safe.
Yeah, you feel that safety. You feel that understanding, and you know you're immortal now. See, you know it because you're living in that body, and this physical body is going to drop sometime.
You realize that it's really truth. You realize the truth completely.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is no doubt anymore.
Yeah, you get into the lifestyle. See, now you live from the spiritual platform. See, this is what Lord Chaitanya did, and his devotees, they lived publicly on the spiritual platform. That's how people got ecstatic love. Yes, Nityananda at first was keeping the spiritual platform within himself, and Advaita also, and teaching rules and regulations. See? But then Lord Chaitanya said, well, if you don't express yourself, your true nature in the world, how are we going to accomplish our mission of spreading this kind of devotional service? See? So people have to see it. They have to see that we're living in our spiritual bodies now. And this gives us great happiness. And it will give them great happiness. They got to see a role model. Otherwise, why should they even yearn for that?
Yeah, they cannot appreciate yet. If there has to be a start of appreciation, they have to smell, or they have to hear, or to see something of that quality, and then they can start appreciating. But when they don't see, they cannot start appreciating.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, exactly. That's yeah. So they have to see it. They have to learn about it, and everything that we're doing here, isn't it? They see it. It's like they see it. We teach about it. The Lord gives us the right words, the right understanding. We share that with people, and people get more and more comfortable about coming closer to the true nature of God instead of being at a distance. We're very close. Many of us are very close with Krishna, so close that you see the truth about his happiness is our true happiness. You can't see that when you're polluted, when you're contaminated. Even on the Vaidhi level, the people can't see it. They see the Lord is out there. See, the Lord is a little bit over there. They're going to give the Lord, way over there. But it's not way over there where the devotee just does whatever devotional service, and they feel this intimacy. They feel like, wow, man, the Lord is my best friend. The Lord is my life, is my purifier, is my happiness, is my everything. Oh, my Lord, you're wonderful. This is when the devotee is chanting too. You get these ecstatic revelations and realizations of their closeness with God, and it makes you really ecstatic. It's like, wow, this is so awesome, man. Wow, what great treasure to be this close to you. I mean, sometimes you get so close with the Lord, or you can, get so close to the Lord, you actually think you're the Lord. You think this, I'm this is like the gopis. Remember, I just read that. They come to the point they're so intensely into the Lord, they think I am Krishna.
Meditating.
Yeah, but, yeah, it's not the Mayavadi thing. This is just a brief thing of just intensity, and it's like God, it's like I've had that a few times, and it's quite amazing. It's like, whoa.
Absorbed.
Yeah,
Absorbed.
yeah. Simultaneously one and different, but not different, actually. You go into this non-different thing, and it's like the Lord is actually you. It's like you understand the truth, that the deepest truth that everything is Krishna.
Yeah.
Even his rays are him.
No
But
distance.
yeah, no distance. But then it's just brief because there's this relationship, between a devotee. You can't have that if you're Krishna, if you realize you're Krishna. But see, that's the Mayavadis get caught up in that. See, they want to realize they're Krishna or God, But that's not a devotee's thing. They like tasting Krishna. They like tasting the Lord's name, relishing association with him. It's wonderful. This is devotional service, pure devotional service. Yeah. If people knew what we're teaching here, they would be flocking in millions of devotees. There ain't anything like this being preached to this extent and shown and demonstrated, and nowhere. This is
This one different thing. That's the first thing you realize when you become ecstatic. This one and that you feel that you're from the same quality and but not the same quantity, of course, but that you are one with the Lord, but still an individual soul. These are the first experiences you have when you get these ecstatic feelings.
Yeah, and then you get more and more purified by relish cultivating this, and it becomes more and more amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, we got another new guest here. Let's put her on. So we're going to add another. So there'll be 3 pretty faces here. Where is she? What happened? Oh, she disappeared. She was there. I think her internet is not so strong. Oh, there she goes. Oh, there he is. Okay, stay up for a minute. Shama Sundari on here. Let's see. Yeah, let's see for. Yeah, hers. Okay, let's see. Wherever you are, maybe not quite strong enough. You can get a better location or something. Because I can't. I see your name there, but I can't see you in the picture. Therefore, if I put you up, it won't show. I don't think. Let's try it. Nope. Oh, I have to go down. Oh, I have to go down. Or Tom has to go down. Sorry, Tom.
Me.
No. Just stay.